Hey there, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Lanning, and I'm so excited that you are back for Writer's Workshop. We've been working so hard on this particular part of our opinion writing unit. Authors, you've been working hard to convince others and to make sure that your writing is easy to read. So for the end of this particular part of our unit, I would like to teach you something very special. Today, I want to teach you that review writers often put their review writing in collections, sometimes even in collections with other writers' work. So you'll see they're all grouped together, different reviews, but they're all grouped together. And these collections are called anthologies. But these anthologies, these collections of multiple pieces of writing, typically from different authors, multiple authors all put together in one book, they're not just random. They typically have a common theme, something in common. To decide what pieces should go together, review writers look at each piece and think, who might need to read this review? What is this review helping people do? For example, you may have a review that is all about the movie Incredibles. Remember we looked at that? It might be all about the movie Incredibles. And then you saw Mrs. Lanning. She had a story all about the movie Megaminds. Ooh, well, what did those two stories have in common? Those two reviews. That's right, they both were about movies. So you know what? Me and that friend, we might decide to make a movie anthology. So that means we would check with all of our classmates and say, hey, let's see, everyone, let's look at our pieces of writing. Does anyone else have a review on movies? We're trying to convince people to watch a movie, and we might compile all of those reviews together into one book to make a movie anthology. These questions, asking who might need to read this review, well, maybe someone who wants to find a new movie to watch. What is this review helping people do? Find awesome movies. But those are two questions you want to make sure that you're looking at when you're looking at your review writing to decide how should you group it together for anthologies. It wouldn't make sense for me to have one review writing on the movie Megamind, but then also have a review writing on my trip to Fort Worth. Do those really go together? The movie Megamind, a review on Megamind, and a review on Fort Worth? Not really. We want to make sure that they have something in common, and that's how we group them together. So we ask ourselves, who might need to read this review? And what is this review helping people do? So today, I want you to look at all of your writing work that you've worked on in this unit and see if any of your reviews can be grouped together to make an anthology. And maybe you're able to do that with some classmates, but regardless, you can do it with your own writing. You can also practice reading your writing in your best commercial announcer voice. So we've got two things we're going to do today. You're going to look and see how you can organize your reviews into anthologies, and you might have more than one anthology to group it with. And you can also practice reading your writing in your best commercial announcer voice. Remember, we're trying to be persuasive and practicing that voice. You can always write a post-it note or add a note on each writing piece saying which one of your anthologies you think it belongs to. For example, a lot of my stories have been about toys, those building tools and toys, and places to eat. So I have decided that I'm going to have a toy anthology where all my reviews on toys will be grouped together, and I'm going to have a food anthology where all of my reviews about food and restaurants are going to be grouped together. You might not have a toy or food anthology because maybe you didn't write any reviews on toys or food. Maybe you wrote a lot of reviews on places to go or on, fun games to play. So maybe you have an anthology about places to visit, and maybe you have another anthology about games to play. And that's how you organize yours. Everyone's anthologies and groups, collections together will be different. But I want you to help me practice. Which one of those two anthologies that I had, toys and food, which do you think my Pinkberry review would belong to? Remember my Pinkberry frozen yogurt. Would I want to make a note for that to go in my toy anthology or my food anthology? That's right, food. I can make a note on my story that shows it would go in my food anthology. If it's on paper, I can write a post-it. If it's online, I can make a note at the top, and I can show which anthology all of my reviews will go to. All right, writers, it's time for you to look through your work, read it in your best persuasive commercial voice as you're reading through them, and decide how they should be organized into anthologies and write that down. Your turn, friends. Writers go write.